What's up, folks? JV wins, Dogon SS, Conscious Approach live stream. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel, liked the videos, left comments. We are picking up some steam, and we certainly appreciate the engagement, man. Keep it going as we continue to kick out this logical content. If this is the first time that you are viewing any of the commentary on this channel, go ahead and check out the library, which is becoming more and more vast by the week. We got videos talking about a lot of stuff, man. We run the gamut, a lot of different subject matters. So, man, we kick the tires and light the fires over here on our little YouTube channel. But we appreciate everybody who's joined us along for the ride. Certainly appreciate you. With that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get started. Got a lot of interesting things to talk about tonight. First thing that we are going to get into. Now, are you familiar with this 20 versus 1 series that they show on YouTube? Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, I am familiar with it. Do I watch it? Now, that's another question. The answer is no.
Right, yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know what this is, it's this video series on YouTube, 20 versus 1, and essentially it's a content creator, and they put this content creator like in this situation where they're choosing amongst 20 women to like date or whatever. And the latest, one of the more recent episodes of 20 versus 1 features the gentleman that you see there. His name is JP. Apparently he is an up-and-coming artist. He's about to drop an album. Now, full disclosure, don't know who this guy is, but who he is musically isn't really the point of this topic anyway. So that's neither here nor there. But they put him in a scenario on 20 versus 1 in which they had 20 women and he had to choose which of the women that he wanted to date or go out with or whatever. And one of the women decided to prove to him firsthand why he should choose her. And the way that she wanted to prove to him why he should choose her is by showing him her gag reflex. For I don't think I need to elaborate on what goes down when a woman shows a man what her gag reflex looks like. Oh, now, in reaction to this, because this went down on the set of the episode, they went into the bathroom and she performed. She performed on site. On site, she what's a politically correct way to put this?
Fellatio?
Oral fellatio, yeah. Oral fixation, fellatio, sloppy toppy, however you want to describe it. Right there on set. And in reaction to this, Cardi B of all people posted on Instagram in disgust at the fact that this woman so quickly was willing to do this for this guy because she feels like that's not really proper decorum. You got to wait. And so Cardi B is saying like, what's the deal? Cardi B is like, what's the deal with you women? Why are you guys doing this so fast? Like that's not really okay. So that's what I kind of wanted to talk about with this particular topic. And I see you're laughing, but that's really what happened.
This is unhinged.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, the first part of the story was wild, and then Cardi B of all people.
Yeah. So we're gonna skip pretty much ahead to the Cardi B retort to this whole dynamic, because that's where the meat of this is. Because the act itself, I'm not surprised. We all know that debauchery is the new normal nowadays, so I'm not shocked when stuff like this goes down. My outrage meter when it comes to stuff like this is very, very low. I have a very high tolerance for new human behavior when it comes to, stuff like this, favors, performances, if you will. But the meat of this topic is what Cardi B had to say. That's what has me the most interested. So we'll go ahead and play this video here, starting from the point where Cardi B gives her reaction, because that's pretty much the most important part that we want to touch on.
And it's like, if you want to sell pussy and shit like that, you could do that. But it's like, damn, to fuck a nigga, to suck a nigga dick in less than a minute with a 2-sentence conversation is wild. Like, it's like, I want better for you. I want better for you. No conversations, no vibes, no conversations, no transaction, no nothing. Just eating dick in the afternoon at 5 o'clock. About your friends. Where's you bitches' friends? What about your friend? Where are your friends? I want to know where y'all bitches' friends is at.
You know, Cardi, man, it's a complicated situation, man. You know, but don't be too harsh on her. She just trying to catch her break. You know what I'm saying? But look, I got the explanation and everything on this album that I'm gonna drop June 7th. I'm gonna talk about it all. I'm gonna talk about all the, you know. I'm gonna talk about it all. Just make sure you tune in to the album, and I'm gonna let it all be known June 7th, the coming out party. Make sure you tap in.
Oh Lord, have
All
mercy.
right, there you go.
What
So
is
of course there's
going
a
on?
plug for the new album that is coming out June 7th for this guy, Mr. JP here. Um, so what do you think about the fact that Cardi B is the one who rebuked this? You know, telling it, where's the girl's friend? Now, mind you, there's actually a longer version of this where Cardi B says even more stuff. This was kind of a
Hmm.
truncated version, but the general idea, the point is made, you know. But she's not really a fan of how this participant on 20 versus 1 decided to really go in on why she should be selected as on this game show. That's what I call it. But what do you make of her reaction, Cardi B? Like, what do you make of what she had to say about how that went down?
I can see where she's coming from. Especially from the aspect of, hey, if you out here selling that thing, she said that's one thing, but to just do it on a house and you really don't even know this person, to her is crazy. Now, if you do it on a house for money, well, you know, it's not really on a house anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's you're getting paid. In this context, it appears as though she's not getting paid, but so Cardi B's disgust with this is the optics of it. In reality, I'm pretty sure this woman got paid for that. It's a YouTube thing. She didn't really even have to do anything, so it's not like we actually saw her do it. Another thing is that this guy's got an album to promote, and he mentioned in his retort that, hey man, she's just trying to get a come up, and she did. So now, who want that rep? That's another thing. Who wants to have that come up? Oh, you're the girl that gave JP some top in less than 5 seconds. That if you want that rep, that hey bro, clout's the new drug. And the whole thing is going viral is a check to them. That's what they think. So this guy here, very modern, ready to play the game. Apparently, he's willing to do anything it takes. And I am familiar with Sir JP. He's got a catchy song floating around on TikTok. He lives alternative lifestyles openly. He's a interesting young man, and he'll say anything. And from this footage here, it seems like he'll do anything too. And hey, y'all, make sure y'all check out the album. I'll explain it to you. So no, I think I caught the gist there. I think I saw what happened. I don't need to know the specifics. And who the hell is she? So overall, this young lady, I believe, got paid. The optics though looks like she did it for free, which is the problem here. And so Cardi B saying that, hey, I talk about selling box, I talk about selling it. You're out here doing it for free. What are you doing? So I more or less agree with that sentiment, to be honest. if you're going to be giving it up that fast, you might as well get paid for it. So to just do it on the house for clout is ridiculous. So what are your thoughts, sir? Do you agree with Miss Cardi B with her outrage with this young lady giving top in the bath though?
I agree with the sentiment. I just don't like is the fact that she said it.
Yes, wow.
Because yeah, she is one of the pioneers of what we like to affectionately call box rap. I think I would put her at the forefront of modern box rap. Um, what was the name of the old school female rapper who called out Ice Spice for prostitution rap? You
Oh,
remember that story that we
yeah, I
did?
remember. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember her
Um,
name though. My bad, y'all.
yeah, so like, yeah, we got to look that up. We did a topic a while back where it was a chick who was from the old school in the hip hop game, and she was calling out Ice Spice for being it's not actual rap or hip hop, it's prostitution rap. And I think that one of the pioneers for that in the modern day sense was Cardi, normalizing, making it cool, trendy, fashionable, vogue to sell yourself, uh not because you just happen to luck into that, but because that's what we do now is we sell box. And it's interesting that you brought up optics when it came to that video. I didn't actually view it that way. Like when I watched it the first time, I assumed that she was being paid to do that.
Mhm.
Like, that was my natural assumption. So
Mhm.
then, if that was my natural assumption, Cardi's comments confuse me,
Mhm.
because if she is being paid, what issue do you have with it? Because women should be selling their box all the time, no matter what.
Yeah.
So because I was under the assumption that she did get paid, I felt as though Cardi was coming at this from a standpoint of traditionalism,
Mhm.
which I thought was weird and
Mhm.
ironic
Mhm.
given the rhetoric and content inherent in her own lyrics. To
Correct.
me, that just doesn't make sense. Because my thing is, what difference does it make how fast one receives the service? If the service is being paid for, I
Mhm.
expect for the delivery of such service to be rather expeditious. Like when I go on to Amazon and I'll order something off the internet, I'm expecting for it to get here fast. I'm not
Prime.
I'm not expecting to have to wait very long. Yeah,
No.
I pay what, $13.99 a month for a Prime account. I'm expecting that as soon as I spend my money, I'm getting this service either the day of or the very next day.
Yeah.
There
Overnighted.
is no right. There is no there is no expectation on my behalf to have to wait for anything.
Correct.
So this guy, Mr. JP, where is the expectation for him to have to wait for anything? Thus, where are these comments from Cardi B coming from, in which she's saying is unbecoming of this woman to, deliver these services so fast? If it was someone else saying this, someone more traditional, someone more from the old school, someone who looked at it from the standpoint of these types of things aren't supposed to take place so quickly or under the guise or premise of money being spent or a
Mhm.
transaction, I would give more credence to the messenger. But because it's her saying this and she's openly made songs talking about broke boys don't deserve no kitty, and talking about how when she was a stripper, she lured guys to places and then get them tied up and robbed and all of this other stuff that she's talked about openly, publicly. Granted, she's a bit rehabilitated on that front. She's kind of left that life behind. We're assuming, if she's telling the truth and being honest. So I give her credit for that. But nevertheless, her personal history is the direct antithesis of these comments that she's making about how this chick looks bad because she gave this thing up so fast. When there's no conversation or not a couple of days or whatever she was saying, because she didn't just say transaction, she said conversation. She was saying, just right off top, right away, without anything else going down. And my whole thing is, if there is an exchange being, if there's a good, a service that is being provided in exchange for money, there's no expectation for waiting. I'm not gonna wait for nothing. If I spend my money, I'm getting it right now. When I
Correct.
go to the grocery store and I spend my money, I'm walking out the store with what I paid for.
Mhm.
Amazon, it doesn't matter where I'm spending my money. There's an expectation that if the money's being spent, I'm getting it immediately. And I'm pretty sure in this scenario, he's getting it immediately. So the question therein becomes whether we want to continue to be okay with such services being rendered immediately and that activity being normalized so long as money is being spent. Because if y'all are so uncomfortable with the optics, my perspective is, who gives a crap what the optics are if the truth is this is what's happening in the world anyway? I don't care about optics. So why should she? And the last thing that I'll say is you bring up an interesting point about attention. And I've made this point as well on this channel several times, and I'll reiterate. Um, in this current society, actual currency is no longer the only form of currency. There is also attention currency, which oftentimes can be converted into actual currency at some point in the future.
Correct.
And for a lot of people who aspire to be in that eye, they want to be in the entertainment industry, they want to be in the music industry, they want to be social media famous, they want to be content creator famous. You know, these people who want to replicate the Jake Paul, Logan Paul formula, you know, those DeMillo chicks or these other people who become so big by being famous on the internet. Like, for these types of individuals who aspire to this, like, sometimes actual currency isn't necessary. Sometimes the attention currency suffices all the same. And so for people like her, who's probably living in that line of work, who's probably aspiring to do that, perhaps attention is the only currency that she needs to satiate whatever needs she needs to get to wherever she's trying to go. So I understand Cardi B's sentiments. I don't like the fact that she's the one who has said them because I think it is a bit ironic, dare I say hypocritical, given the context of her music, where she champions this kind of behavior so long as there is some tangible benefit that you are receiving in return. And that tangible benefit is not of the wholesome traditional variety. It is of the transactional variety. And oftentimes money does not have to be that transaction. It can be the transaction of attention. In the rap game nowadays, they started to use the word clout, but it means the same thing. Payment in clout or attention can sometimes be just as tantamount as the payment of actual money. And so for these individuals who perceive that to be a worthwhile investment to make, that's all they need to do. So I think it should have came from somebody else. But these days, these people don't have accountability, and they think that despite the energy that they put into the universe, they can just say stuff like this and no one's going to check them on it. You know, she needs to be checked because I think that it rang rather hollow for me when it came to what she had to say.
Nah, man, and I agree. I'm sure that girl got Cardi B in her playlist. Pretty sure that girl got WAP or whatever the hell in her playlist. You know, Bodak Yellow or whatever her stuff is, Bodak and whatever. And you know, she got all of that stuff, you know, in her playlist. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she performed fellatio to some Cardi B tracks. So for this lady to feel as though she didn't have an influence on this overall mindset within our culture, you're talking about, have decorum. What? She's a mother of how many? I don't know, but she walks around with no decorum. So why would you ask the people who follow you to do anything different? Why not take it to the next level? You know, you too scared to do this, Cardi? The thing is, man, the envelope always gets pushed. You know, she pushed some envelopes when she first came out, and it made a lot of people uncomfortable. And then there were older people that were saying, have some decorum, Cardi B. And you know, Cardi B's influence amongst other box rappers has converted the mindset of a lot of women into that of nymphos, into that of money driven nymphos. And so everybody's going to take that differently. So honestly, it's just a tool. They say, hey, here you go. And everybody who listened to it grabs that tool. Now, what people decide to do with that hammer is all on them. But you empowered these women by telling them that they can just get a box to anybody. So why not give it to a celebrity guy that's on his way to go blow up? You know, maybe he can take me with him. You know, so why fault her for this? And so younger people always take it to the next level. They always raise the stakes. You know, they always one up the previous generation. You know, I wish we had some of these moves that these young guys is doing when we were playing. You know what I'm saying? Dribble, dribble, step back, boop, boop, boop. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, what? I wish we had some of that. You know, our best things were crossovers. You know, we had sauce, you know, but we felt like since we had more sauce while we were playing and a crossover and other things, we felt like we were better than the other generation who was dribbling, you know, straight up and down. But the game always evolves and the younger people always take it to the next level. And so Cardi B, who took it to the next level from the previous generations, all right, now has children out here in the game, in the world, out here participating, and they're taking it to the next level. Would you surprised she did a behind the back, between the legs windmill? Hey, this is in game. The game was over. Have some respect. It's like, hey man, when else were they gonna pull this stunt? We never heard of her before. And like you said, if the clout's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Any pub is good pub. Hey, now y'all gonna follow her and see what the next crazy thing she gonna do. Mess around, get on a podcast, mess around, get on a whatever. And now everybody know her name as that girl who first, you know, hey, it could be that thing. And like you said, that was a good point. If she was already living that life anyway, what's this? You know, she'll take it there when the other ones don't. So my whole thing is that, you know, yeah, this is the wrong messenger kind of situation. It amazes me how these people who preach no morals turn around and try to be moral on other people.
I don't understand it.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Hey, I'm not saying I agree with this, but at the same time, as I just mentioned, you know, I'm not surprised these kids are taking it to the next level. And so as for this JP guy, you know, this guy, I could tell by his whole energy set that he loves all of this. He wants to be famous. He always thought he was going to be famous, and he's doing whatever it takes. He knows that he has to do whatever it takes, and he's willing to do it. And so that's like new behavior. Like people had always had that, but he knows he wants to go viral. I'll do that. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, success. He made it the conscious approach.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he you know, he's willing to do that, and she's the female reciprocal of that. So interesting dynamic here. Another case of wrong messenger. We tend to get that a lot here.
Yeah, I think we need to start a series, an official series, where we create graphics and everything of like, you know, the right message, wrong messenger series, episode number, whatever, because that has become an ongoing theme here.
Yeah, we're gonna get a swooping graphic, you know, for across the screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, maybe the one bright side of this is perhaps people like Cardi B are starting to sense that we may be at an inflection point in which we need to decide, are we getting to a point where this is going too far? We need to dial some of this back. You know, and I'm not saying that she's thinking that. I'm just, I'm trying to infuse some optimism into this whole scenario, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to me how you can contextually be what you've been musically, which is at the end of the day what most people are going to know you and recognize you for. Everyone doesn't know you personally, despite what you may do on social media and the internet. No one knows who you are as a person. So who you are is your art. And you've put this art into the world, suggesting that the normalization of, you know, this type of behavior is okay. You know, give it up early and often, so long as he's paying for it. Do this or do that. It's okay, so long as he's paying for it. Do this or do that, so long as you're getting everything back. The thing between your legs is your tool to leverage in order to make it into the world, which is ironic because feminism feminism preaches the exact opposite of that. You know, historically, feminism has always been, I am more than what's between my legs. Appreciate me for my contributions in my mind. But this counterculture, particularly in entertainment and the music industry, is doing it a disservice, because they're saying, no, lean into it. Seriously, lean into it for real. Like, what we are is what we can leverage between our legs in order to get what we want in the world. And she is at the forefront of that. So when you are at the forefront of that, I roll my eyes when you are telling another woman who's following your doctrine, because she's using that to leverage to get what she wants in the world. Whether she's being paid directly in currency or not is beside the point. She gleans that if she does this, thereby you leveraging what she has as a woman, she can get what she needs to get where she wants in the world. To me, it's the same thing that she's always preached in her music all
Mhm.
this time.
Mhm.
So what's the difference? Just because optically you don't see the money being exchanged, you don't know what she's getting in return for
Yeah,
doing that.
you know
The
she got
point,
paid.
right? The point is she's doing that in order to get where she needs to go, which is
Mhm.
what y'all talk about in these goofy songs all the time. So for you to feel so compelled to get on the internet to talk about where are your friends and you shouldn't be doing this, maybe you are realizing that you've taken this too far and we've reached a possible inflection point where we need to sit back and reflect on whether we are okay with all of this as a society. And maybe she and other leaders like her, because whether we like it or not, these individuals are leaders in this community, these people who worship this music. We don't like it, we don't agree with it, but that does, just because we don't agree with it doesn't make it any less true. These people out here, this is their Bible, this music stuff. It's their doctrine.
Mhm.
It's their 10 commandments, and they're going to follow it to the end. So this, the power that this music carries, the weight that it has.
Mhm.
Perhaps we've reached an inflection point where we need to sit back and reflect on whether we are okay with this general direction as we continue the downward spiral, because they are leaders for this stuff. They are shepherding these people, these individuals who don't think for themselves. So I just don't like it, because at the end of the day, she doesn't realize this is an inflection point. She is just a no accountability person who doesn't realize the hypocrisy in her comments at the end of the day. And that's what we got going. And that's what we got going on with this.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe some social media expert can sit her down one day and be like, hey, do you realize how these words come off to people who know better? Because this to me otherwise is goofy behavior. I do believe she was paid. We may not have seen the exchange of money in front of the camera, but she received some sort of compensation for that. And even if she didn't, she received proverbial compensation. She
Correct.
received clout. She received attention. She received attention, both of which in 2024 are very powerful forms of currency in their own right. So I hear you, but I don't hear you, Miss Cardi B.
Yeah, 100, bro. That 20v1 stuff. I mean, I get it. Young dudes trying to make their money, so I ain't gonna hate on it like that. But I just think this stuff's horrendous. I think that whole premise, because some of the stuff that's being said, all these little game shows that people are doing it's black people doing it.
Yeah.
And these little game shows where we're turning each other down or popping balloons. Like, I don't know what all this weird stuff is. I cannot stand it. And we just gotta do better, man. So it's a lot of young people who watch this stuff. A lot of young people gonna think that's what's popping. You know what I'm saying? I don't, other people gonna try to have sex acts now on pod. That's gonna be a thing now, just to go viral. Hey, it's on these Fresh and Fit shows or whatever the
Yeah.
hell. And then,
Yeah.
they're going to take one of the girls in the back room, and it's all implied. Yeah, it's all implied. Yeah, just do that for the ratings and the stuff. So it's clickbait stuff to me. It's album promotion stuff to me. And for Cardi B to take the bait, she should have known better. And she should have called this out for the publicity stunt that it was. But to sit there and try to tell her how to conduct her vagina when you told her to just be wild with it, that's a wild thing to be doing.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, best of luck to you, Miss Cardi B. Hopefully you clean up your act. Maybe you do have to make those songs to pay your bills, but try to clean up some of your lyrics. And while you're on stage, try cleaning up some of your costumes. While you're making your videos, try cleaning up some of your costumes and some of your dance routines. But until you do those things, I don't think you have any moral high ground to tell a thought how to use her box. So yeah, man. Good luck, Miss Cardi B. And JP, bro, get your bag, man. This guy, I think the young guys love him. So do your thing, bro. He clearly got the formula.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine a person who makes thought music telling thoughts how to be thoughts. I don't understand.
What?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Come on,
I don't
man.
get it. But I guess, narcissists, man, narcissists are running the world. They're definitely running the internet.
Mhm.
And they can just say whatever they want and no one's going to check them. So,
Mhm. Well,
it's
hey,
crazy.
make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Even you, Cardi, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe.
Because I know you watching. Stop playing.
Oh, righteous.